honor of being here today. I was not prepared to really speak. My father, Douglas Campbell, passed away on February 21st. I actually don't think I can read it.
I'll read it, Polly. I'll read it.
Okay.
Kelly, it's beautiful. I'm reading on behalf of Polly. And I'll try to get through it as well. My father, Douglas Campbell, passed away on February 21st, 2022. I always forget those. He was 75 years old. Douglas was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and lived there until he enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1969. He was 19. He was sprayed with Agent Orange, a carcinogen, and returned home with what today we call PTSD. He was honorably discharged in 1967, the recipient of multiple medals, including the Vietnam Service Medal with Bronze Stars. His life often felt defined by his time in Vietnam, which shaped his perspective and understanding of our world, our country, and our humanity. Doug was a good father to me, and a wonderful grandfather to my daughter and I of faith. My dad stressed the importance of education, to be well-read and able to articulate one's thoughts in both the written and spoken word, particularly paramount to it. He attended the University of California, Santa Cruz, where he met my mother, Naomi Lear, and enjoyed studying theology, where he learned my namesake, Polly. He often reminisced about the work he did in the laboratory at Stanford University. Douglas focused on continuously educating himself and was a voracious reader and writer as well. At the community of Santa Cruz for since the 1970s, he was well known. He took pleasure in farming and growing vegetables, and he especially loved the Cheryl's peppers. Recently, he worked for WAM Therapies, whose mission aligned with his own, to provide hope and well-being in community life, promoting access to plant-based and alternative therapies. My dad took care of others, often in their darkest times, but perhaps it was himself he forgot to take care of at times. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2020, and despite receiving care and treatments from the VA in San Francisco, his cancer metastasized. My dad was a fighter, carrying his bags filled with his writings to his chemo visits in his home in Santa Cruz, week after week. I felt nothing could stop him until one day his body did. The loss of my father still breaks my heart every day. I love him and miss him beyond words. I am forever grateful to have him in my life and for all the important memories these past 42 years. He will be missed by more people than I am. My deepest regards, Polly and Keith. If anybody else would like to come up and share any words, then we're going to do that.
I'll do this really. Douglas was so quiet man. He had so much power in his word and his presence. He was scary to some folks, right? He was our guard. I called him our guardian angel, but other people, when they approached the door, might have called him Lord. And he was so complicated. He was such a complicated and enigmatic man. He was everyone. I think that everyone in town might have known him because people always talked about him, and everyone. I think we thought we knew him. You could not really say, most of us, I think, could not really say we knew him. Family, yes, of course. And by, I think, sitting together in silence watching sports and then hearing that yell, from the back. That must have been a touchdown or a home run or some of the basket or something. Other things too, probably, but he was quiet about what he carried scars from a painful history and from a war that saw countless horrors, unspeakable deeds that young men were not meant to participate in, no less carry the burden for the rest of their lives. But that's what happened. And I recall diving deeply when we first met more than 25 years ago. There was an incident at WHAM, and he was, you know, he had this fierce presence. And so a bunch of, he came in this way, and who's that? And he was new, it was probably like almost 28 years ago. And some of the guys came around me, and I knew he was a Vietnam vet, and I was like, no. It's totally one-on-one. And he just showed up in this presence that was both, it was like a mountain, but that one that you are invited to climb, to participate in knowing, to discovering, I guess I would say, discovering. And when my brother died, my brother Mark, they were brothers in arms. They had met over those years. And my brother lived with me. And they shared that brothers. And there's a complexity and something I could never know or speak of because I never had the experience that they have had. And they connected, but when my brother died, Douglas really stepped up to have my back. And he spoke with me in a different way. Not about Vietnam, not ever. Just that it was unspeakable, just. And that's when I first began to notice how many people's lives he had touched. I really began to notice that we all kind of felt like he was always one of my best friends. And I think, again, that we didn't, he knew us and he gave space for that. Maybe we didn't really know him. And in fact, he made us feel like that. He made us all feel like we were special. That we were that we were the friends that he would bring inside, yet he was so quiet about himself and about his own suffering. Really private and really quiet about it. But he was not a quiet writer. He was bold and vociferous and scary and dark and intentional. And the rivers that he walked in were rivers that he that shone a kind of unspeakable an unspeakable grief that he knew. And he was on fire. He brought hell to life because he had lived it. And he was good to us that way. And I knew one friend with whom he shared so much, likely even in quietude and silence and communication. And that's by me knew those secrets. Maybe he'll say something about it, I don't know. I know that you feel so much, but maybe the words that speak to it. He just didn't talk too much about others, but he was proud of his community. He spoke a lot of those. So, you got the words, the soft words, and the sweet words, and the hard words, and how proud he is of you still. I still believe that he is. He spoke lovingly and in his very unique way. He loved all of us, and I can't ever thank him enough for that. And I would never, ever know a man like Douglas. It's my privilege to be your friend. And I'm on your tail. Right on your tail. I'll be very soon, probably. It's really a privilege, and I thank you for inviting us. I hope that we can have another ceremony or party where we do more of the stuff that he liked to do. Because I think this is federal ground. And he was a Vietnam vet after all. He taught us a lot. And I carry that deep knowledge that he gave us with me. And I'm proud to know such a warrior. And I'm really proud that he had my back, and really lucky, really lucky. Much love, much love, much love.